how the back what is it, 40 years you said back?
Oh no, man! You know what I'm saying? We got time. Go ahead and run that thing.
Right. How long was that clip?
The way B is I'm lost already.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Yeah, it was a long clip, so I'm trying to find a word.
He was just talking about the future of the country when a lot of people are fighting DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. And it's talking about how, it's talking about how the Black community we're gonna end up with no wealth by what, 2040?
Right, 2045.
2045.
Right.
Because like we're not taking home ownership seriously enough. It's like, because you're basically saying when you run out of land, what you gonna do? Ain't no more land.
Right. I'm pulling it up right now if I can. I don't know if it's not accurate. Right. Hold on a second. This thing got a delay, a stupid delay. This thing is stupid.
You ain't sipping on nothing today, CJ?
Nah, man, just at H20 tonight, man.
Barry B got the yak over there. You gonna make me drink? You gonna let me drink by myself, Barry? I know you got something over there.
Nothing. I don't do no yak anyway.
Okay.
In fact, I need. While you say that, I need to hit the stove.
Hey, Barry drinking that oil over there. He on that oil.
I'm a bourbon drinker.
Barry on that oil over
there. Man, y'all better get on that bourbon. It's nice and smooth.
It's that clear oil tonight. Barry say I ain't got nothing over there.
All right, so I'm gonna run the clips back to back because I had another clip by him. I'm gonna just run the clips back to back so everybody get caught up. So I'm gonna run both of them back to back, and then we could just talk from here on. You know what I'm saying? So hold on a second. Let me run it. Bam.
The only way America will survive.
Black people are too emotional on this topic, and some white people are too narrow-minded and fearful. This literally makes no sense. I'm dropping this today. We're going to publish this in a couple weeks, I believe, on CNBC, and I'm taking on the entire hard right. And my prediction is they won't have much to say. Here's why. Called the Business Plan for America. Now, I'm going to do this real quickly. In 1952, America was 90% white. That meant that what Dr. King and Andrew Young and Dorothy Height did in the civil rights movement was genius, because basically America was doing the moral thing because we didn't have the numbers. Mm-hmm. America today is 40% Black and brown. You add all other minorities in, we're already a majority of minorities. But Black and brown group will be a majority of minority within 10 or so years. So now we're a majority of minorities. We're going to be the first generation where the population is a majority over 65 years of age. Mm-hmm. Read baby boomers who are white, wealthy, and trying to retire. So in our lifetime, you're going to have the first generation over 65 years of age, wealthy, white, and trying to retire. Social Security by 2034 will only be able to pay 70 cents of every dollar for retirement, which means you need more money going into Social Security. Now you have a population of Black and brown people for the first time in history that's basically going to be a majority of minority, and that's just going to keep escalating. The largest population of poverty in this country are poor whites. And the number one group dying are high school educated white men. By the 2045 census, you're going to have all these sort of numbers coagulating together, and you're going to have an economy that doesn't work anymore because Black and brown people were never given the memo on free enterprise, capitalism, economics, ownership, and opportunity. We confuse making money with building wealth. By 2053, Black America will have a net worth of zero. If all we do is what we're doing right now, Black people have a net worth, 41% of Black people own a home. 41 of 43%. The number one way you build wealth in America is home ownership. Mm-hmm. It's part of what we've been talking about today. And once you become a homeowner, there's only so much land. That's it. It's done. It's hard for that value not to go up if you're anywhere near places of economic activity and jobs. So that's how people compound when they sleep. We don't own homes. Latinos are not much better. By 2072, I believe it was, Latinos will have a net worth of zero. So the two groups that are going to be the majority of minorities were never taught free enterprise, capitalism, economics, and opportunity. So now let's deal with diversity and inclusion. What's the biggest economy in the world? I've already said it, the U.S. What's the most diverse country in the world? The U.S. What are the two most diverse states? California and New York.
Yeah.
What's the two most prosperous states? These are not trick questions.
California, New York.
California and New York. All right. What's the biggest economy in the South? Not a trick question. Atlanta.
Okay.
$455 billion a year. 10th largest economy in the United States. What's the most diverse place in the traditional South? Atlanta. Now, you take 6 states around Atlanta. States, not cities. You can name them. Alabama, Mississippi, like you can name them. The Atlanta city economy is bigger than all 6 states. You can take 3 of those states together, put them inside a bucket, and sit it inside of the city of Atlanta's economy. That's because diversity is actually good business. If you are a business today, a company, a Fortune 500 company, you're 36 more likely to be prosperous and profitable if you're diverse and inclusive. Put another way, the most profitable big companies in America are diverse and inclusive. The math on this stuff, and we can go on, I can do this forever, but I think the point is sort of obvious. How do you cancel the diversity, equity, and inclusion program, which are basically DE&I is the R&D, the research and development for the future economy. So if the folks replacing the folks got the jokes but don't have the capital, America can only continue to be the superpower of the world. There's never been a superpower that wasn't an economic power. What's America today? But we cannot continue unless the folks listening to this program and watching this video become capitalists.
Why is
boom? He said a lot, so I'm gonna have to break that up. I forgot how long that was, so I'll let y'all go ahead and chime in on that.
Yeah, gentlemen, 2053 for black folks.
Yeah, 2053 net zero, 2676 for Latinos net zero. So I'll let y'all go ahead and chime in on that, man. What y'all think of that?
He went through a lot on that one.
Right.
He went through an absolute lot. I can see why diversity can be a profitable thing, especially for down the line.
Yeah.
It's a lot to kind of to comment on, when it comes to that. I mean, it's just.
Now you see why I was trying to sum it up,
Yeah, I mean, I get exactly what he was saying, Some parts I guess, truth be told, it kind of went over my head. But I don't know, take it away, Beard.
Well, I mean, as far if you're going back to what he said about how we're more diverse now, what he said, like 40% is black, brown, and other black and brown are like 40%. And I agree with him. Those people are the people in those groups were never taught about home ownership and all of this. So yeah, it's gonna be a gap in it, and it's gonna go down. So we do have to teach our black our communities how to be home ownership, how to be entrepreneurs and start their own businesses. Because the economy will go down if the majority of the country is going to be diverse and all these different ethnicities or whatever, and they can't put into that system, and it will be zero.
Or will it be like like we were talking about earlier, where where it's going to be the few control the many, and they already set it up where you got a renter society where you own nothing, and only a few people and a few families, our descendants of those families, get it, because we never understood money. And he said a key thing in there, and I reiterate it again: we understand we just not starting how to make money, but we don't understand how to create wealth yet.
Yeah. That was big what he said right there.
So we know how to make money. Like, a lot of us don't. A lot of us don't know how to create money. A lot of us think saving money is is making money. A lot of, and living paycheck by paycheck and saving. Think they're gonna save your way to prosperity. So a lot of people still believe in the banking system. Put your money in the bank and save it up, and then all of a sudden you're gonna have $1 million one day. I can't believe how many people don't have a game plan. I was talking to people today, like I might put this in my Instagram bio. What's your game? Do you have your game plan for your $10 million to retire on? Because you're gonna need it. So if you ain't got a plan, how many people got ideas but they don't have no plan? How you gonna build a house without a blueprint? So you gotta have a step by step, and you gotta be willing to risk it all to get it. Because like I said, if you play by the rules, is it gonna be really a life? Because Social Security is supposed to be out of here. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago. If Social Security, we only gonna get $3,000, and shoot,
but living 20.
And the rules were made by the ones that don't want you to prosper.
Right. Well, I think at one point they didn't. I think it's changed. I think it's like, I think it's out there, but what they created is almost self-sustaining. I know you're not gonna look to do anything about it. And it's so far out of control. I could put it out there because the age of information. I could put it out there in front of your face. You're still not gonna do nothing about it.
Right.
I think it's to that point right now. I don't think they have to hide it from you no more. They can put it right in front of your face. They even got one of the most viral skits is a monkey driving a Ferrari. You remember that monkey's hopping out that yellow Ferrari?
No, I didn't see that. I must have missed that one.
Kind of TV you be watching, B?
Nah, that's social media. They got a monkey driving a Ferrari. I'm about to look that up. We're gonna remind me before the end of the show. That's one of the most viral, and I think they was lightweight slugging. They were slugging us like, man, anybody can drive a Ferrari nowadays. Anybody can consume, but can you set your family, your kids up where they straight?
Yeah,
that's when you master the matrix. But all this come together, like I don't think we have the patience, B the system and the culture to reform this thing. And I think the part that's scary is what he's saying is that all right, you can include it's big business now. We can be inclusive and diverse now, but what happens when we got control of the wheel and we don't know how to create wealth? All we know how to
I don't. But control of the wheel, I think that's a little different. Just because we'll be a majority of population, don't mean we controlling the wheel though.
Well, let's say we could control the political wheel because we have the majority. Unless we split it off into small groups. So now, let's say we stated as we are as a political vote. We have the politics, we have the voting block, and then as far as it should theoretically, if you're a majority of the population, you should theoretically have a lot of the businesses.
Theoretically.
So is it going to be like we said? We generate, but we don't get it yet. So we keeping the economy going, but we ain't stacking properly.
I think there's a lot of me mentality. I'm gonna get mine. I'm chasing money. I'm doing this, and not thinking about the community and everybody else. It's a me mentality. Let me go get this money.
Right. Well, the community gone a long time ago. I think community left us since the 60s and the 60s. I think as soon as we got integration, we was gone. Who said that, man? As soon as I got my check, I was gone.
That was on Friday.
Yeah. That
was on Friday. That was the uncle. You know what I'm saying? Look, right. I was one of those ones said I wasn't gonna leave. I got my check, I was gone.
I was good. So that's how we are, man. We got our check and we roll up out of there. So
here's the thing that I think is kind of one of those negative assumptions, you know what I'm saying, that I honestly believe different, right? So I think, you know what I'm saying, right now, I think from a cultural standpoint, brown, black, brown, whatever the case may be, the minority. I think progressively over the generations, we've had an increasing numbers that have become smart about money, about building wealth. What that number is, I have no idea, but I do believe that the number is higher now than it was maybe 30 years ago, whatever the case may be.
Right.
I think the assumption that we're going to be still in the same spot mentally on building wealth 30 years from now as we are now, I think is looking at the glass half empty. I don't think we're going to be there. I think as generations start to come up, younger generations through the minority are going to be more educated, and there's going to be more of those that understand how to build wealth. So then now we have a large number of a culture that understands how to build wealth. It ain't just about getting money and saving to become rich. So I think that assumption that he makes is a little bit off target, because that's just assuming that that nobody becomes smarter. We're at the same point that we are now, and I don't see that being the same 30 years down the line.
Well, I think he's accumulating. I think he's factoring that in. I think he's saying that the time is where the population is outgrowing the actual projected growth of us, our performance. You know, so based on the performance and the numbers and how we're going, the trajectory is going to be by 2053 is going to be net zero. Is by based on how. So you saying that it's going to outperform what it's been doing. It's going to 2x or 3x what it's been doing. You know, just the trajectory. And I think that's all factored in. Like, hey, people get money, but I don't think the population is gonna. I don't think it's gonna flip flop. I don't think the population is gonna be in line with how many people are performing.
I think, you know what I'm saying, the way I understood it is that eventually he's saying that the minority, which is now, is going to become the majority.
Correct.
And then we're going to be in trouble because the majority doesn't understand the concept of money, right?
Correct.
So what I'm saying is that when the minority becomes the majority, a larger number is a little bit more smarter when it comes to money at that point. So to say that we're in trouble, I think is a
I think it depends, though, bro. Because even now, you look at, let's say somebody gets Big Mama house, they ain't holding on to it. That's one probably a paid off property that you could have in the family portfolio and add to your net worth, but it's getting turned around and sold.
Right.
I think right, and then just the same way, I think there's some situations where there's grandchildren that's keeping Big Mama house. Hey, look, you know what I'm saying? This was handed down to me. I'm just going to stay in and fix it up as opposed to selling it up. And that's just because, you know what I'm saying, they're more educated on how to build wealth now than they were back then. 10, 20 years ago, you know what I'm saying? Absolutely. Big Mama passed away. We got a house. Everybody going to bust it down. We're going to sell it. Everybody going to bust it down and go on about their money. Everybody going to splurge for the next couple of weekends. You know what I'm saying? We're going to ball out of control. They end up back in the same position.
Right. What I think is the difference between educate, knowing, and doing is two different things. I think, like I said, a lot of us, the information is out there, but how many of us, and I talked about this earlier in the show, like it's surprisingly a lot how black business owners that I know I'm talking to don't understand tax strategies, don't understand IULs, don't understand these are the basics. So we don't, and we making money, we making hand over fist money, but we don't understand how to keep it. So there's the education out there, but are we taking heed to the education?
Yes.
Are we? Yeah. That's
yes. It was it. I just don't think, you know what I'm saying, like just because we talk to 2 or 3 people, that doesn't make it the majority of the people.
Right. No. That's anecdotal, but so, you'll be surprised how many people. I would say. Speaking of, beyond my anecdotal experience, but if you take 100 people, I would say the majority, 51, won't know these things. 51 out of 100. Let's do this last clip, and then we can go ahead and, wrap it up.
Who hear you say,